and welcome. You are listening to At Home with Ifenu. Here, we'll talk about helping women know and understand their worth, find fulfillment in who they are, and in what they do. Every other week, we'll talk about your identity as a woman, discovering your unique purpose, intentionally raising the next generation, and your influence in homemaking. I am your host, Ifoma Nneka Omoni. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode on At Home with Ifenu. You know we always want you to feel at ease. Even if you are not in your personal homes right now, it could be morning, afternoon, or evening. Whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are welcome to At Home with Ifenu. And you know, today's episode is really going to be mind-blowing. I am so sure of that. First of all, because God is here with us. You know, we are always using his perspective to see whatever we are going to be talking about today. And I'm not alone on today's show. I have an honor to be hosting a very dear person to me. I have known her for a long time. In fact, when I look at her, I smile because I can't imagine. I never imagined that she'll be my guest one day. But you know how the Holy Spirit and God orchestrates our path. It's no coincidence that I have her on this show today. I have with me, by name, she is Mrs. Bose Fawehinmi, but I'll be calling her Coach B. You're welcome to At Home with Ifenu podcast. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Coach B, how have you been? How has the year 2022 been treating you?
I want to thank God. It's been treating me well. I mean, I can't complain. God has been good. The year started on a good note, and I'm usually a very positive person. So I always trust God. Never have a better yesterday. So it's good from one level of glory to another. So the year has been good.
We thank God for that confession. So we'd like you to introduce yourself. You know, it's better we hear from you. Who is Coach B? Who is Coach Bose? If our viewers hear your name, what are those things you like them to remember about you?
Okay, so I am a child of God. I really always want to be identified as that. The Lord saved me maybe some 30 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been an awesome walk with the Lord. I am not an ordained pastor, but I am a minister of the gospel. I mean, so I don't go by the title of a pastor, but I do serve God and contribute my all that God has put in me. I use it to bless humanity and to serve my local assembly. So I'm a committed Christian. I am a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a counselor. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. I'm a trainer, conference speaker.
Wow.
What else? I am a serial entrepreneur. So I do businesses, different kinds of businesses. So I'm a Canadian immigration consultant. I do the abroad business. I do professional counseling. And any other thing the Lord will bring my way. I'm always open to do new things. So I do a lot.
Wow. Yeah, so Coach B, we can see that there are so many parts of you. In fact, if we start asking about each part today, I'm sure we'll have to call a conference like the ones you usually arrange. Coach B is also the founder of a counseling platform, Marriage Matters. So anything about marriage, infidelity, and things like that. And I believe that's why she's our guest today. So before we delve into today's focus, I know you have a background of engineering, as in what you read in the university, and you even started working on that note. But I think along your journey, there was a shift. What really made you have that shift? You are now a marriage counselor. You are now a coach in the marriage, like call it marriage industry or the marriage platform. What brought you to this particular stage of your life?
I graduated as the second best graduating student in my class. I mean, engineering, and I had a 2-1. So it's like, okay, so in your career, you're like supposed to be one of the bright engineers from school. So everybody was ready to push me into, that space. They believed in me that I was going to really be successful. And I also believed in myself that I could do it. So I served. After my NYSC, I got a job in a non-servicing company in Port Harcourt, and I got married. And marriage redefined everything. So when I got married, my husband really didn't want to live in Port Harcourt, and he was shuttling, coming and going. And that just did not seem like the kind of marriage I wanted. So I decided that I would resign, and then we would both live in the same city where he wanted to live. And that didn't really sound like a wise move to a lot of people. But I was convinced in my heart that was what I was supposed to do. My husband never pressured me. Even when I told him that I was going to resign, he said, hey, because I was the one earning more. My salary then was like times 3 what he was earning. And so for me to say I was going to give it up for something unknown, it didn't sound wise, really. But I just knew that was what I was going to do, because I wanted my marriage to work. Hello, I'm not saying that if a woman holds on to her job, that her marriage wouldn't work. Of course, that wasn't what I was saying. But I just knew that job, being in that space, and my husband just come and go, was pregnant, and everything I just said, no, this isn't it. We will sit together and make this marriage work. Marriages have failed in my own family. I never saw any marriage that was working. So my own was going to be the beginning of a new era,
Wow.
So I said I will be the new ancestors for my own children. They will see this marriage work. So I resigned, and I now didn't get a job, to my surprise. Lagos, as a personal engineer, all the good jobs there were like in Warri, in Port Harcourt, and all of that. So I ventured into entrepreneuring, and they will say the rest is history. So that's how I found myself doing businesses, and God has been faithful. I have no regrets so far. I don't hope I have.
Wow. So what gave you that passion of coaching and counseling people in marriage?
What gave me the passion? Hey, I lived with my grandma, and they used to really, like, my friends used to call me for counsel. I mean, like, I was in wisdom. I was way ahead of my age. So they would always call me old woman, I mean, I was kind of pretty wise. So I've always operated in that space where people will just run things by me and say, I don't know what to do, and I will just be able to help them. So when I became born again, that became a very, I mean, I knew the ministry I was supposed to be working in. So
Wow.
if I enter a church, you know, before long, I'm like sisters coordinator. You know, so from young like that, as a single person, I was always sisters coordinator, fellowship mommy, you know, that kind of.
You're touching some strings in me too, as you're saying those things. You're taking me back to memory lane.
I had to take it a notch higher because people will now give referrals. So people have counseled in church, they will now tell their friends, oh, there's this person you need to come and talk to. And people that were not Christians started coming. So I knew that I had to learn how to really do this counseling properly, such that it's not just only church people I can work with, I can also work with people that...
Our focus for today is, are you in love with your spouse or your children? Now, the question is going to women. We are asking women, are you in love with your spouse, that's your husband or your children? And this focus or this topic came out of my observation from many people around me, very close people. When you see that the woman says, I am in the marriage because of my children. I remember you started by telling us that you were ready to sacrifice your job so that the marriage will work. So when women come to a point where it is like they are trying to shift, or they are finding it difficult to give a balance to loving both their spouse and their children based on their experience in marriage, what will you say from your professional point of view as a counselor and a coach in marriage issues? Is this something that is relatable to the people that you have worked with so far?
Thank you so much for that question. It's something that is very common, and unfortunately, people don't even see it as a problem. So it's like, that's how it's supposed to be. But we will go to the beginning. When we talk about this whole concept of marriage, it was not just Adam that decided that, oh, I wanted to have a wife, or I need a wife. God instituted it. God saw a deficiency. He created everything. Then he created man, and he said, oh, it's not good for this guy to be alone. Let me make somebody to keep him company, somebody to help him, somebody to be with him. So marriage in itself is for the man and the woman, and for them to enjoy themselves, to become friends, to help each other achieve life purpose, for them to be able to comfort each other and, do life together. So when you know that is the purpose of marriage, the purpose is essentially for man and woman to be together and be of support to each other. When a man and a woman are living together, there is going to be sexual intimacy. And then when sexual intimacy happens, babies come, and that's how we have children. So when you are now married, you now think that the children are the purpose of that marriage. Then that is an anomaly.
Wow.
That is from the beginning. It's not so. So we have made it so, but we need to start to, correct our errors and do what is right. So you are in that marriage for each other, not for the children. The children are added benefits. They are the blessings of the marriage. The jara, the
extra,
the things that come as benefits of being married. So that can be the real substance. So we should not put our attention on what is not the main thing, just because we can't make the main thing work, and then we are taking comfort in the other side things. We shouldn't do that. So we are supposed to be in the marriage for each other.
Wow. Coach Bose, you are turning tables or breaking their legs today with what you just said. In fact, as you were talking, I started thinking of another topic again from what you are saying. Because what you have said is the purpose of marriage is, first of all, companionship between the man and the woman. The children come along the way.
Yeah.
And we find out that when a couple gets married and they have not started having children, that not having children even becomes a problem in the intimacy of both people. I think why we are thinking like this, maybe culture or tradition has made it so. Because many people feel that, no, by the first year, they start looking at you. If you have not had children, they'll be wondering, what is happening and everything like that. But thank you for your response to that question. So we are hearing that the first purpose is companionship. The children are the extras, the benefits of the union. So we should not shift our focus away from the purpose of a man and a woman coming together. I think that this particular thing should be discussed during counseling young potential couples, so that they really get it right. Because I also know that when some people are getting married, you find out that they want to know whether both of them are sexually fertile, and some people do all sorts of things, see whether she can get pregnant even before the ceremony, that they don't want anybody, that they don't want a man marrying another man, like that. So many things that come up. So how can women find a balance in giving attention to their husband and the children when the children start coming? How do they find that balance and enjoy the journey of marriage?
That's $1 million question. So from the beginning, just like you said, that we need to talk to intending couples.
Yes.
About the role children play in the marriage. So when a couple gets married and their motive as per that marriage, everybody goes into marriage with different things. One of the things I ask them, intending couples, so why do you want to get married? I mean, you are going to hear all sorts of answers. So, but if somebody's motive for getting married is to have children, there are people like that. That when they want to get married, it's like, let me just have children. I can just have 2 or 3 children. And it's all about just having these children. If they now get married and they can't have children, that marriage is not fulfilling its purpose, and they will be upset. They would not want to take it, or they want to get out, because the marriage must just produce these children. Okay, when the children now come, then why I'm married has been achieved. Thank God, and I have these children. Let me face them. Let me just face them and raise these children. So from the beginning, the person is really not in the marriage, to build from one friendship or to stay long time with the husband. So if the marriage has small difficulty like this, I go, let us just part ways. At least I've gotten my children. So that's the class of people who got married and have children, but they were trying to bond or connect with the husband, but the husband is unavailable. The person is not emotionally ready or available for them to make that connection with. So if you are in the marriage and you still feel alone, it's like you are just alone. The person doesn't look at you, doesn't have your time. Then when you have a baby, it's like, finally, I shall have somebody. And you just see that your affection and your attention is now shifting to that new individual. So you just carry the love because you are a woman There's so much. And when the baby is there, it's a willing vessel. The baby is willing to receive your love. You're just loving on this baby, pouring everything. And that the man no they even look you. You to not send the man again now. So you just cleave to your baby, and then as more babies come, you just cleave to them and you live for them.
Wow.
So that is also not how it's supposed to be, but some people have found themselves in that situation, not because they wished it, but it is what it is. And they are like that, but it should not always remain that way. And that's why we are having a conversation today.
Wow. From the beginning, it was not meant to be so. That is what Coach Bose is telling us today. It's like some of us should go back and hear some things again. I'm sure some of my listeners are wondering that, I didn't hear this before I got married. How come I'm just hearing this? So what will you say for women that are at this crossroad now? You know, because we have different categories of listeners. Some people might just be about to get married. Those ones, I say, they are fortunate because they would go back and maybe reassess their motives for marrying. And then we have the women that are already inside the marriage, and like you said, the man was not giving them attention or giving face to them, and they say, I beg, these children are here, let me just take care of them. How do women in that state of going far into this, loving their children rather than their husband, how do they retrace? Is there any form of remedy you can recommend? Is there any way they can retrace their steps? We know it's a tough one. We know it's not going to be an easy journey, but we believe that there is hope as long as we are still alive. So how do such women come out of this to start enjoying their union or intimacy with their spouse?
Thank you. As the Bible says that if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? That scripture, a lot of people quote it to infer that the righteous is helpless, that the righteous can't do anything. And I beg to differ. The Bible asks the question, what can the righteous do? The Bible did not say the righteous cannot do anything. And we should not conclude that the righteous can't do anything. So if there is faulty foundation, I went into this thing with this motive, blah, blah, blah. The righteous can pray. Like you can pray. The righteous can learn how to do things better. The righteous can unlearn bad mindsets. You can reprogram yourself. You can start fresh. I mean, but buildings, if foundation is bad, you can repair foundations. Sometimes you even need to pull down a structure and fix some things and erect it back. So, I mean, the righteous is not helpless. So don't think that in your situation you are helpless. Because if you accept that you are helpless, like, hey, that's how it is. So, since my husband doesn't have time for me, it's me and these children, no. It is so, well, if you feel helpless, then you are not going to look for solution. You will not do anything about it. Maybe I should share some of the dangers that is there when you choose to cleave to your children. The Bible did not say you should go and cleave to your children. No, you are not meant to cleave to them. And that's why we have troublesome mother-in-laws today. That we choose to cleave to their sons. And when you cleave to your child like that, you can't let that child have a happy home. Or you are not going to allow his wife to have a happy home. The other thing also that may happen is that some guys never got wind of their mom's breast, or is it that they will not, their apron string, they are always tied to the mom, and they will always come and take counsel, mommy this, mommy that. I mean, and then you feel you are fulfilling your purpose, that you are still mothering your children. You are not supposed to be doing that all the time that you are supposed to invest in cultivating just on it. So there should be a balance. No, your spouse is your number one priority. Then the kids next. Your spouse first, the kids next. So when these kids, when they grow up, they will leave you alone and go and cleave to their own people. So you have to remain cleaved to your own. So when you are young, try to cultivate this relationship. If one partner is not available, say your husband is not giving you faith, then go for counseling. Look for ways to solve that problem. Don't just say, let him be as long as I have my kids. And that's why a lot of people grew up that way, because they don't want to solve that problem. They just say, well, it's okay, Jare, let him just be. I have my kids. So if you are in this situation, go and look for a solution to fix what is wrong between you and your spouse. Do not make your children your crutch. Those children are not your crutches that they are supposed to be resting on. Arise now and go and fix your marriage. Your marriage can be fixed. It can be. Your children are not supposed to be the solution that you will just divert all attention and say, let my marriage die if he wants to die. As long as I have my kids, I don't care. No, that is not the way.
Wow. Your marriage can be fixed. There is hope for a foundation that is faulty or the wrong motives for getting married. As long as there is life, there is hope, and it can be fixed. Okay, Coach B, what of if, most times it looks like it is women that go for counseling. I might be wrong, but I said most times you see that it's women that are ready to go for counseling or to even try to make effort in this marriage thing. So some people might be like, what of if with all my counseling and everything, my husband is still adamant? What do I do? When it is only me trying to make that effort?
I hear this a lot, and I can tell you it is true that most women are likely to be interested to fix their relationship than the men. And it's because of our the way we were raised. I mean, ladies are usually more interested in relationships. Like, I mean, they are the ones that worry when things are not working and all of that. The guys, having this tough exterior, like it doesn't matter, I don't really care, and all of that. So, what's the advice? You as a woman, you are the one trying to fix your marriage. I will tell you to continue. But you need to continue with wisdom. So you can always influence your spouse without dragging your spouse for counseling. Okay. I'll say that again. You can influence your spouse without necessarily dragging your spouse to counseling. I tell women that if you go and see a counselor by yourself, the counselor can teach you how to influence your spouse. So let's assume that your spouse is not romantic. Maybe that's your problem, or he's not good with communication, or he wants you guys to be praying together, and the guy just know the send, and whatever it is. If I'm with you, for example, if for instance he wants you guys to do things together, and the guy is not initiating it, you can look for an activity that will interest the guy. You know the right timing. And you be the one to make it happen. So you are spending time with him in his own territory, the things he likes to do. You are coming into his own world, because probably you've been waiting for him to come into your world, or for you guys to create a world together. But that has not been working. Why not go into his own world? Why not go spend a little time with him? And there are just ways you can go about, achieving the purpose, what you really want, without necessarily making a big deal out of it. You want you guys to pray together. The guy is not really like that sensitive to know we should do it. You can just say, darling, please let us quickly pray. You hold his hand and you pray. Father, thank you. This. If you guys are not fighting, he's not going to push you away now. Say, why are you praying with me? Stop praying with me. He will allow you pray now. He will allow you pray. And then small like that, you introduce some other things and you say, oh, can we go for a walk? And then as you guys, you are going for a walk, you can say, something came to my mind. Let's quickly pray for our son. You know, I told you in school, they said he's being troublesome. You hold hands and you pray. That's a prayer walk. Without necessarily saying that, oh, darling, do you know that we should be going for a prayer walk? I mean, so there are ways you make somebody start to do certain things without being preachy or being pushy. The person will just be doing it. So that wisdom, I think that we need to pray that God show me how I can be a positive influence to my husband. I want to be a positive influence to him. I want to be able to draw him, to inspire him to be my friend, or to be more prayerful, or to be more attentive with the kids, or spend more time with the kids. I mean, whatever it is, pray for the wisdom. And then going for counseling too can be helpful, because we will ask you what your home dynamics is, what can work, what cannot work, and you can craft out a model, with your counselor that you can use to influence him. The person is a child of God now, I assume. Yes, he's a child of God. So that your husband is not a devil. He can change. But you have to be positive. You have to learn the skills to use, and you can always get the change you want.
Wow. Coach Bose is telling us that marriage is work. Marriage will not just happen like that. And she has also brought out a very important part of our lives, which is praying. I'm sure if we ask us women, when last did we pray for our spouses? Or even if we are praying, what are we really praying about for them, But she's telling us that we should not give up on that marriage. We should not say, hey, he does not like counseling, so there's no need. We can go for the counseling, seek wisdom, pray. Don't give up on the prayer part. So there is hope for that intimacy to be there. And I think the summary of what she's saying is marriage is work. We need to work at it, and we should be patient. Being a marriage coach and a marriage counselor, I'd like her to just share with us some of her courses or social media handles, how our listeners can reach you, Ma. Please, could you just share with our audience your social media handles? How can people reach you? And if you have courses online or programs that people can maybe follow your Instagram page, so that they'll be aware of things about your platform.
Thank you. So this is me to rave about myself, what I do now. Yes. I counsel singles, I counsel couples. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is at Marriage Coach Bose.
Okay, Marriage Coach Bose.
That's my handle. Yes, that's my Instagram handle. On Facebook, my page is Marriage Matters with Bose Fawehinmi. Marriage Matters with Bose Fawehinmi. You can always DM me. Send me a DM on either of those platforms. I do premarital counseling classes for singles, intending couples. I am having a training for counselors. So apart from me being a counselor, I also train counselors. I have a program coming up on infidelity recovery. So infidelity is something that is really happening a lot, as bad as that sounds. It is happening. And counselors, mentors, pastors need to learn certain skills that they can use to help people to build their marriage back if infidelity has happened. And you can always reach out to me for speaking engagements in your church, your groups. I do virtual sessions, and if you want me to come physically too, that can be arranged. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Coach Bose. We have really gleaned a lot of wisdom from what you've said. You have given hope to a lot of homes, I'm very sure today. You have made us have a shift in our paradigm because many people, even old couples, are still saying, thank God I have children. Oh, thank God. If he does not have my time, at least my children have my time. But you are telling us that that was not the original plan from the beginning, because the children will go and cleave to their own spouses. So we should work at making sure that even with the children at home, before they leave, we still have that intimacy with our spouse. It's a tough one, but we will not give up. So what will be your 3 practical ways for us to fall in love afresh again with our spouses and not use the children as a cover up? What do you want our listeners not to forget? Those women that are like, is this thing possible? This woman, she's just telling us fairy tales. How old am I in marriage that I will start trying to be intimate? That's friendship. Because I know that one thing is to get married to your friend, somebody that you can always, beyond having the children and everything, somebody you can share with. So what are 3 ways you want our listeners never to forget that they can do that will bring back that fresh intimacy to their marriage journey?
Yeah, so 3 things. Imagine a stool with 3 legs. Can you picture a stool that has 3 legs? So I want you to try to position your marriage on these 3 legs. Number 1 is the friendship leg. So the friendship leg means that you for your friend is the person you talk to often. So couples, carve out time during the day that you catch up with each other. You talk. You don't say we are too busy. Maybe it's before dinner, during dinner, after dinner, when you go to bed. But there is that chunk of time that you just be with each other and you gist, you catch up. Well, how was your day? And it's not just like, fine. No. So that thing, do you know that I went for that presentation? So that catching up daily is one thing that can help you build the friendship leg. The other leg, the second leg, is the commitment leg. Commitment. Your marriage must sit down on that platform of commitment. And what that means is that divorce is not on the table. It's not an option. Separation is not an option for you. This marriage got to work or it got to work. It's like, I'm committed. Whatever is going to take, I'm going to give it. Of course, I'm not saying you should give your life, So, not in the case of if you are being physically abused or your life is in danger. No. But like, you are so committed that you are not, you don't give your 100% to the marriage. Don't say, it's 50-50. It is not 50-50. It is 100-100. And don't try to measure your spouse's 100. Because if you are measuring his own, it may appear to you like a 20. But you ensure that you are giving your own 100. So that's the commitment leg. The third leg is the romance leg. Never stop dating. Never stop dating. Don't grow old. Don't grow. Don't think that that dating is. It's for old people. It's for young people. Jeremy, I don't have time. You have to have time to keep chasing each other, to keep wooing each other, to keep playing with each other. So have a routine, maybe at least one day in a month that you guys go on a date. And that date can be anything you guys decided to be. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive, but something that makes you play dress up, like, oh, he's taking me out, or that thing that just makes you feel about each other. So That is a tip for the romance leg.
Wow,
Let your
wow.
sexual life be vibrant. Play with each other.
Friendship, commitment, and let the romance still be as hot and fresh as ever. Wow. Thank you so much, Coach Bose. You've really fed us to our full today, and we'll keep chewing and ruminating on all you said, and looking forward to having you more on At Home with Ifenu podcast. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, Ro. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a privilege and an honor. I appreciate you a lot. And to all the listeners, thank you for listening and stay powerfully blessed.
Thanks for joining us this week on At Home with Ifenu. Check us out on Instagram at Ifenu17. As always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next in 2 weeks' time.